In this tutorial, we'll be discussing the creation and management of group accounts. A group account is an account type that a domain admin can create within the IceWarp web admin or a system administrator can create. A group is able to have members added to it, and for those members a set of resources can be defined that they can share. These resources include email, calendars, address books, tasks, notes, journals, or files. All of those or any combination of those can be provided for the users, and access to those resources is controlled by an ACL or access control list. So you set permissions on those resources down to the folder level or down to the user level, or they can be set on the group as a whole. To create a new group, you simply use the new group icon, define an alias. The description can be any unique identifier you'd like to provide. You want to create a public folder and then name that public folder. This is the name of the folder that will appear in webmail, and under that folder in the web client will be all those different shared resources you provide to the group. The two options here, this first, by default, if email sharing is one of the options you have for the group available, when an email is sent to the group alias, all the individual members will receive that message in their inbox. If you check this option, as opposed to mail getting sent to the members, it will be delivered only to that shared mail folder, and users within the group who are members who have the correct permissions can access that mail. This option here will automatically add all the group members to the group address book. We will select that option. Now from this point, go ahead and click OK to save the group. And what you'll want to do is go back into the group, and now you'll notice there's a Members tab available. So under the Members tab, you can define the members of the group. Click the Add box. You have the ability to select the entire domain or to select specific accounts within the domain you want to provide as members. For system administrators, this drop-down will provide every domain on the IceWarp system. For your domain admin account, you only have access to the single domain, so that's all that will appear here. So we'll go ahead and select the entire domain, press OK. Now access and rights are provisioned from within the IceWarp web client logged in with an administrator account. You define that account here that you want to be able to use to set rights on the group resources. So we'll use our domain admin. Before I click OK and save those changes, there are a few other tabs I want to briefly discuss. The Services tab allows you to set antivirus and anti-spam coverage, or even use the quarantine on messages to and from the group. The Message tab allows you to manipulate the headers or footer or reply to header or the from header for messages to and from the group, or specify custom headers or footers for messages to and from the group. These can be text or HTML files you can simply browse to and upload here. The Options tab has a few security settings. You can put an option here to select that only members can post new messages, and then you can also password protect the ability to email the group. That password must be specified here, and then also specified as the first thing in the subject line when emailing the group. And the Rules tab allows you to specify message rules for messages to and from the group. So now we'll click OK to save those changes, and our group's created. Now, I do want to show you one thing. If you notice under the Public Folders tab here, all my other public folders are available here, including public and shared folders, and also even personal shares. I'll go ahead and click Get New now. You'll notice that this new domain group folder shows up here outside of our public folders root with all the available resources that are there for it now. Now I don't want this to be the case because I wouldn't want to have all of my public folders separated out as separate items here, because it can make the interface very busy. Ideally, you'd like to have all these different public folders grouped under the one public folders root folder. So I intentionally did not show that when I created the group to go back and then highlight the difference now. So if I go back into my group, under the Group tab, for the public folder name, as opposed to just domain group folder, I want to set the prefix in front of it of public folders / then the actual folder name. Click OK. Now if I go back to Heather's account and click Get New, you'll see now instantly the Public Folders tab now shows a domain group folder. And again, all those different resources that are available for the group. Inside of the IceWarp demo system, there is a shared account prefix, public folders. Any group you create or public folder you create that you want to appear underneath the public folders root, you'll need to prefix that public folder name with public folders /. This is not a setting you can see inside of the demo web admin, but as a system administrator, you can set this setting so when you download the full product, you'll be able to work with that yourself. Now, if I go into my calendar and try to create a new event, I'll right-click and you notice the new option is grayed out. That's because by default, permissions are set to read-only for all members. But as you remember, I did set my domain admin with the ability to go in and create those permissions. So if he goes underneath the domain group folder to the calendar and right-clicks and uses the folder access rights option, you can see here highlighted that the group itself has read permissions set. And you can see here that the domain admin has full administrative permissions set, as we did when we created the group. So I simply click Add New. Here's Heather on my suggested contacts list. Click OK, highlight her, and set the permissions I want her to have. You can set permissions on the folder itself or the items within the folder. We'll go ahead and leave the folder as read, but we'll set the items within the folder as write and modify. Click OK. Now back to Heather's account. Now we will log out and log back in. Now if I go into my calendar and I right-click, you see now I have the ability to create a new event because my permissions were modified accordingly. So Groups is a great way to allow users on the system to collaborate and work with data across the entire IceWarp system. Provisioning is very easy using the web client, and you can set account permissions on the folder, on the users, or some combination thereof.